What's going on, guys? My name is Fadis Khan. I'm a strength and conditioning coach with over 14 years of experience, and today I'm going to be ranking the top 20 best core exercises in the world. So let's get right to it. So first things first, I did not create this list. I simply went onto ChatGPT and told it to make me a list of the top 20 best core exercises. Now, right off the bat, I've done each and every one of these, but some of these I personally would not put into a program, and this list also doesn't contain many exercises which I believe should have made the top 20 best core exercise list. But for the sake of this video, we're going to stick to this list, and maybe in the future, I'll create my own list. Anyways, let's get started. Alright guys, so I have my tier list right here, and I'm going to be ranking these exercises based on effectiveness. How effective is this exercise to build a strong, functional core that's going to help me perform better, whether in sport, performance, or everyday activities? So this list isn't just, do I like the exercise or not? No, it's going to be, is it a good, effective exercise? Does it have many benefits? And can it help me perform and also look good? So taking a look at this tier list, we have the S tier. This is super. This is the top tier. So an exercise that goes into the S tier means that this is super effective. The A tier is going to be above average. B is going to be average, C is below average, and then D is going to be the least effective tier, meaning that you should probably pick another exercise if your exercise falls into that category. So let's just go right from the beginning. All right, so the very first exercise we'll be jumping it off with are toe touches. I think toe touches are a decent exercise. I've thrown them into my core circuits before. Definitely going to give you a good burn. The issue I have with it is if you're somebody who has tight hamstrings, then you're not even going to be able to set up in the correct starting position. And when you can't even set up in the right position, it's going to alter the entire exercise. So if you are a beginner, most likely you may not be able to get into the start position. Then even if you can, you may not even be able to hold your legs up in that position long enough. And if you're advanced, then I think there's just way better you can do, because this is technically a sit-up, but you don't even get too good of a range with that sit-up itself. So it's good for some, but it's also not good for many. So because of that, I'm going to throw this in the C tier. Next up, we have mountain climbers. Now, I actually love mountain climbers. I think this is an underrated exercise because not only are you working your core, but also your hip flexors. Hip flexors get tons of work, and because you're off of your arms, you're going to work that upper body stabilization as well. So many different things happening. I think this can easily go in the B tier. The next exercise we're going to cover are the Swiss ball jackknives. Now, this exercise is pretty advanced. I've probably only done this exercise twice in my life, and first time I did it, I was just falling all over the place. I couldn't even keep my balance. It was actually quite challenging, and I would say I have a pretty strong core. So I did like that challenge, and the good thing about this exercise is it's working the entire core, all right? And I'm not just talking about the rectus abdominals. I'm talking about everything from the front to the sides and the back. All right, all of that is considered your core, and all of those muscles need to engage and be activated in order to keep you stable, in order to do the exercise. And without any movement, you just holding there, you're engaged fully. All right, then you add in the jackknife movement itself. Your hip flexors are working, everything is working, the shoulder and the upper body stabilization. This is a wonderful exercise. I gotta give it an A. All right, the only reason it doesn't get an S is because, one, you need a ball, all right, because you need some sort of equipment. That makes that a little tough, and you can't really regress it as easy, all right? If you can't do it, you just can't really do it. Maybe you can go a little slower, or that might even be harder, but I like to put S tier, things that you can easily regress, progress, and you can just kind of hit anywhere. So, but still a very, very good exercise. Next, we have the captain's chair leg raises. Now, Now, I think this is a very decent exercise for beginners. Somebody who doesn't have much core strength, they're probably gonna try this one out because it looks pretty, straightforward. It's very beginner friendly. The issue I have with it is when you're kind of stuck in that chair and you start raising your legs, you may not feel it as much in the core, but more so in the hip flexor. I've noticed that's what other people have said as well. So it's great for the hip flexors, but we're talking about core here. So, I'm probably gonna have to throw it into the B, and I do like it at B because it's just so good, like in terms of you have so much stability from the upper body, lower body does what it needs to do, but because your core isn't hit too much, I can't throw it higher than that. Leg raises. Now, I assume these are leg raises where you're lying on your back. I think this is a great exercise. Core is working hard. As those legs come down, you have to even just control everything, and so it's a good one. I mean, you can even progress this by putting your hands up. You can even hold the weight into it, and it can be done anywhere with no equipment. I'm gonna throw that one into the A category. Hanging leg raises. This is definitely one of my favorite. Now, the great thing about hanging leg raises is there are so many different variations that you can hit, all right? You can hit just regular bent knee raises, straight leg raises. You can hit toes to bar. You can even get into like some front levers. You can do single leg up and down. There's so many variants that come from this one exercise, and on top of that, you're working your grip strength. The core is already engaged from you hanging there, so there's so much you can do with this. All you do need is a bar, but because it's so versatile and you can easily regress it and progress it, I gotta throw this up into the S tier. Planks. Now, you can't go wrong with a plank. Everybody knows how to do a plank. It's pretty easy to learn. There's so many variants as well. Like somebody who has a weak core, you can literally do a plank off of your knees and they're still gonna feel it. You can even do like an incline plank or something like that. If you're very advanced, you can start doing weighted planks. You can do single arm planks or single arm weighted planks, and it's gonna challenge you deeply. So great exercise to prevent some extension of the back, and it's another very, very good one just for your overall spine health. So I'm gonna throw this one in the S tier. Cannot go wrong with that. Medicine ball slams. I was kind of surprised to see this one on the list because is it really a core exercise? But then again, I guess if you think about it, it can be considered core. I think slamming the ball straight down, it's not gonna really engage the core too much because your arms, your upper back, a lot of utilization from the legs and the hips. So there's so much, it's pretty much a full body thing. And so your core isn't gonna use so much of that work. You're probably not going to feel it too much in the core. Your core definitely is working to transfer the power from the lower to the upper body to the ball, but from an engagement standpoint, I don't really see it. What I do like are fake slams or fake throws where you are gonna slam it, but then you stop yourself from doing it and you use your core to actually stop that. So that's one that I actually do in my program, and that's one that has a huge carryover to, specific aspects of performance like agility and change of direction. So you can get creative with this. I do like it. I do love slams, but again, I'm not doing it based off of what I love. It's about the effectiveness. So I'm gonna throw it in A because depending on how you do the slam, it can be super effective. And anyone can do this. Bicycle crunches. I think bicycle crunches are kind of a waste of time. I mean, if I'm being honest, I think there's a lot better that you can do. It is good because you have a little bit of that rotational aspect. So your transverse abdominals and the obliques can work a little bit, but you're not rotating enough, in my opinion, and the coordination required can be a little difficult for some, especially if you're a complete beginner. If you're not a beginner, then there's just better you can do. So I'm gonna throw this one into the D category. Bird dog. I love bird dogs, all right? I love them so much. I do this probably every single warm-up, different variations of it. Great for your spine health, great for your back health. This is a great one right here. I mean, your rotation, you're resisting, shifting from side to side. So everything is working. I think we can just simply put this in the S category, honestly. I mean, it's a good one. Dead bugs. I really like dead bugs too. And this is great from a warm-up perspective as well. What's good about it is it does require some coordination. So whenever I'm teaching this exercise, especially to someone who's never done it before, they're probably going to mess it up off the bat, but it's not too difficult to grasp. And what I notice about this is that people like that small challenge where they have to coordinate their upper body with the lower body. And the good thing about the dead bug is that does exactly that. It warms up all your limbs and it allows you to perfect your breathing pattern that you can utilize through the rest of your workout. So from a warm-up perspective, this literally checks every single box. So I'm gonna have to throw this one in the A category. Do it every single warm-up. Reverse crunches. I think these are a good exercise too. You know, all these exercises I think have a place, you know, and the hard part about making this list, if I'm gonna be honest with you, is that a lot of this can be subjective. Like, some exercises are good for many, but then are not good for many. You know what I mean? So, but again, I'm going to try to stick to ranking these based off of their effectiveness. I think this is pretty effective in terms of hitting your rectus abdominals, but there is a lot better. The good thing about reverse crunches is you can do it anywhere. I think I'm going to throw this right in B. I think that's a great spot for it. Side planks. These are wonderful. This is another exercise that is just great for your overall back and spine health. It's part of the McGill Big Three. So if you're somebody who does struggle with back problems, do some side planks or modified side planks. And the good thing about these is that you can regress it, make it very easy, and you can even make it very tough. There's so many variants you can do, can be done anywhere. Also another great one for a warm-up just to get everything, you know, nice and activated. I think I'm going to throw this one in the A category. It can definitely go in the S, but I think bird dogs are a little bit better. Wood choppers. This is another good exercise. This, in my opinion, is underrated because this hits the transverse abdominals. And I think just from a general standpoint, people do not train rotation enough. And when you train rotation, this has so many functional benefits, not just for your daily life, but also for performance. So this does exactly that. Great rotation exercise. And another good thing about it is that you can very easily progress it. You know, you can use a cable and you can just continuously use some higher weight as you get stronger. So easy one to track right there. I'm going to throw this one into the A category. Seated knee tucks. Now, I actually do this one quite frequently simply because it's very easy to execute. All right. All you need is a bench or a chair or something to sit on, and then you can get the exercise done. Why this is so easy to execute is because you can pretty much throw this exercise anywhere within your workout. For example, I like to throw this in when I'm doing arms. So I'll hit a set of arms, and then naturally, a lot of people after an exercise, they just go and sit down anyway. So you're already sitting down, just go ahead and hit the knee tucks. And that's exactly what I do. So it makes it easy to just kind of sneak in during your workout day. And there is a lot of variations you can do with it. You can do just straight up and down. You can go side to side, and you can load it up by holding a weight between your feet. So easy one to execute, easy one to progress. And sometimes when you got to get down to the floor to do an exercise, it feels like a lot, but because you're sitting on a chair, it seems like it's pretty easy to do. So I'm going to throw this one in the A category. Ab rollouts. Now, straight off the bat, this is going in the S category, right? I'm gonna tell y'all about this. This hits everything, all right? There's not too many exercises that I do where I actually feel sore and I feel that I'm truly working even just from one rep, except for the ab rollouts, all right? The ab rollouts, I feel it from the get-go. I feel it as I'm doing it. I feel it after I'm doing it, and it's very easy to regress and progress. You can start off of your knees, then you can actually do it off of your feet and then go into your knees. Then you can do it directly off your feet, and then you can progress it even further from there. And the lower you go, the more you feel it. So it's such a great movement. Everything is working, not just right here from the rectus abdominals, but the entire core, the entire trunk is working hard. And this is super difficult as well to do it from your feet. I've not met many people who can even do it from their feet. And you know, if you can work up to that, you're extremely strong. Cable rotations. This is another one I really love, all right? From a performance standpoint, you cannot go wrong with cable rotations. It's similar to a wood chop, but I feel like with the cable rotation, you're able to actually utilize your hips a little bit more. And this is so good, especially for athletes who have to throw, catch, punch, kick, for anyone who has to rotate, this is going to make you so strong in the obliques and the transverse abdominals. You can easily track this. You can load it up. So this one is going to go into the S tier due to its transferability to many aspects of performance. The Russian twist. Now, this one gets a lot of hate. It also gets a lot of love. I personally like it a lot. Many people say that this exercise is bad for your back. Now, if you have some back problems, then you just getting in that position from the first place is going to feel difficult for you. But from a performance standpoint, we do need to work that rotation. We have to work that rotation. So I like these because, again, you can load them up. Easy to track, but there's a specific variation that I absolutely love so much, and that's the Russian twist with the ball throw. So you throw that ball with your legs up, and in order to catch that ball, your core has to produce a co-contraction, and so you are engaged everywhere from the throw to the catch, and then you can rotate as well. It literally, this is such a great exercise for performance, and it can transfer very, very well into many other aspects of performance. So I love this one. But if we're talking just general Russian twist, it's also good. So the only reason why I can't put it that high is because if you are somebody who does struggle with some back issues, it may not be great for you. So I want to put it in A, but I'm going to throw it in B. All right, I'm going to throw that one in B. It can easily go higher though. Next exercise on this list, we have the V-ups. I think V-ups are also a good exercise. Doesn't matter how strong your core is, V-ups are always going to make you work. I personally like to do these as a warm-up as well. Similar to the dead bug, it's going to warm up from the upper body, lower body, going to help some coordination, your breathing pattern, and do it anywhere. So it's a great exercise. Very good to also throw into some circuits. Can't really say too much wrong with it, you know, but based off of the rest of this list, I'll probably throw it in the B category just because if you are very advanced, then there's already better on the list for you. If you're a beginner, there's also better on the list for you there. And finally, the last exercise on this list are flutter kicks. I think flutter kicks are cool. You know, it's a great isometric here for the rectus abdominals, but then your legs are doing some dynamic work. It's one where when I'm teaching like a group class, for example, or just doing some circuits, I like doing this as like a finisher. Just say 30 seconds of flutter kicks and people are going crazy, you know, count slow, and it just feels like, you know, it feels like you're working even though you're kind of just, you know, laying there. So I think it's a good exercise, but in terms of effectiveness, there is a lot better. So I'm going to throw this one in the C category right there. So there you have it, guys. There is the list. What do you think? Is it a good list? Do you think I screwed it up? I think this is a decent list. You know, again, some of these exercises I wouldn't necessarily put into my program, but they do have some effectiveness. Besides bicycle crunches there, I think you can just pick a better exercise overall. Anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Just a reminder, my new private community has launched. Inside, you're going to find programs, educational content, my full exercise library, live weekly masterclasses, and so much more. The link in the description down below. Come join the community. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with everybody else you think can benefit. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section down below. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future content. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'm going to see you guys soon. Peace.